Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Caravan of Garbage, where we're wrapping up the Rusty Crowe His-Trilogy.
For now.
Yeah!
He's done other stuff. He's changed the world in many other ways.
Well, he's also made other historical epics. LA Confidential.
Sure.
American Gangster.
Virtuosity.
Remember
that? Remember when that happened?
I remember when it happened.
That was nuts that time, remember?
Crazy.
That really happened in Melbourne.
It happened on Lygon Street.
Right. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, pretty ordinary.
It was after a grand final. You know?
Things get loose.
Things get very loose.
Yeah. So this week, of course, please leave a like because we're talking about 2014's Noah.
Had you seen this before this?
I think so, yeah.
Because I'd not. And look, here's the thing about this.
It's the perfect prequel to Evan Almighty.
You know, in a way it is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no one told me about this movie. I missed it.
Noah told me.
Hawk Noah. Pray on that thing. And then I've written timeless comedy ? So we'll see what happens in 2 years, 6 months in the comments. But here's the thing. You know how Hollywood does a kind of retelling of a story based around like a Judeo-Christian God, and it's often a very sort of mundane take. They leave out all the explicitly fantastical stuff.
Totally.
You know, it's voices, it's shadows, it's a dream, it's lights from the sky. Is it God or is it, a man's hope and faith kind of together? I just assumed that this movie was one of those movies. It had gone down that path. Noah was going to be a man, and he's living with his family in a time of strife and struggle. He believes in God, and everybody's like, "Oh, Noah, you old fool.
God sucks."
Exactly. And then, he has the dream about the flood, and he's like, "God told me this," and they're like, "Oh, Noah, you old fool. You've lost your mind." And then
you're a stupid idiot.
Exactly. And then he builds, he struggles with his family, and he struggles with his faith, and he builds.
They're losing faith in him, his family. They're like, "Is this what
they build the ark?" And there's the human drama, and then and then at the end, they get on they all they've struggled so much, and then they're all standing on the ark, and the clouds form, and there's some drops of rain, and it sort of cuts to black, and you're like, oh, was it ever going to flood? Who knows? Maybe. Yeah. But he's certainly learned. Everybody's learned.
Sick boat though.
Exactly. But this movie's got
sick boat, bro.
But this movie's got the Rock Lords in it.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Remember the Rock Lords?
Hell yeah!
Do you remember GoBots, which were a cheap ripoff of the Transformers?
Hell yeah!
And then GoBots introduced Rock Lords, which were robots that turned into rocks. Well, they're in this movie.
Yeah, man.
This movie's just like this movie's got Rock Lords. It's got flaming swords. It's got foxes with scales for some reason.
Oh, it's got magic snake skins.
And this is just straight up at the start. There's no. It's
not Game of Thrones building into dragons and whatever.
There's no first act where we're like, how's this going to turn out? Where does faith land in this universe or whatever? It's just like, there's the angels fell out of the sky and they turned into rockmen.
They're rockmen.
And they're just wandering around. There they are. There's several of them.
You can talk to them. They won't like it, but you can approach them.
They speak English. They speak British English like we do in this period. You know what I mean? Anyway, this movie's nuts.
It's insane. Well, it is, of course, a Darren Aronofsky project. And Russell Crowe, after we looked at Master and Commander, he's back on his nautical bullshit, Mason.
That's exactly right.
In a big way.
His wet nonsense. This should have been called Russell Crowe's wet nonsense. Russell Crowe's outback wet nonsense.
Well, this is set on the Prometheus planet, it would seem. Not the Outback.
The Prometheus planet, it could be set on Arrakis.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of Hunger Games apocalyptic teen romance. This could be, everybody dresses like it's Game of Thrones.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like, this could be set on an alien world.
Yeah.
What, did Darren Aronofsky have some sort of just weird alien sci-fi fantasy idea that he just was like, I can get funding easier for this if it's...
Great question.
If it's Jesus-y.
First of all, Emma Watson, who's in this, said that it can kind of be set in any time period because, it could be post-apocalyptic.
Could be happening on Lygon Street right now.
That's right. After they sweep up all that virtuosity glass.
That's right.
So it is actually an adaptation of the French graphic novel Noah for the Cruelty of Men. This is a comic book movie.
Whoa!
That's what's going on here.
Whoa!
Obviously based on biblical stories and
Well,
et
I mean,
cetera.
I did a little digging as well. So it's based obviously on, some of the Old Testament, but also on the book of Enoch, which is non-canonical.
What?
That's right.
Who said it's non-canonical? God?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Saw him on Lygon Street the other day. I asked him about it.
Oh, yeah?
Bailed him up. It's like, I'm busy. but it's not canonical. I mean, I don't remember. Maybe it happened.
Yeah. I'd imagine there's a lot of Alan Mooreisms to approaching God. Just like, oh yeah, look, thank you, I appreciate you, but it's not really something I'm into anymore. I don't want to talk about Watchmen. I mean, the Book of Enoch or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
This was also
it might have been 5 loaves or 2 fishes or 2 loaves and 5 fishes. I mean, it's more about the vibe. You know what I mean? It's not really, the numbers aren't really that important.
No, man.
But everybody had a nice time.
They did. So they initially went to Christian Bale and Michael Fassbender for this, but they declined.
As Noah and his wife?
Yeah, Noah and Noah's wife. That's right.
Interesting. Okay.
This is also, I mean, it's a very Darren Aron movie, is it? I mean, there's a montage of creation. Again, it's just, there's a lot of...
There's that moment where the water sort of crawls through the landscape. The river forms and it's like blip, 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 and it does a kind of, rapid flurry through all the different landscapes. That forest grows.
Yep.
So I'll just throw that in there. Magic seeds.
Magic
beans.
Magic beans. It's also got Darren Aron's weird and complicated relationship with motherhood and women and the earth. The thing that, look, he's certainly saying something, isn't he? About all those things. And you got to respect it. Because a big part... you got to respect it, Mason.
Do I got to respect it?
You got to respect it, Mason. Oh, good. He's standing up and saluting. And now he's doing a dab. But, a big part of this...
I was not standing up and saluting. I was only doing the dab. How dare you? A seated dab, which indicates minor respect.
A big part of this movie is that, if humanity is going to continue, most of these people don't have wives. And so Emma Watson turns up, which is good because you want to kind of flesh out the bloodline a little bit.
Sure, so they can't all be related.
They can't all be 3 blokes.
Yeah,
that's true. They can't be working like that. And there's the brother Ham, who he can't catch a break.
Right.
He just wants a girlfriend, and his wife that he.
Well, it's me, brother Ham. Give me a girlfriend, will ya?
And he does for a minute, but then she gets trampled.
It's true.
Yeah. So it's just that there's a lot of that going on here, and there is also this. There's a cruelty to Noah. So the lore of this universe, this comic book movie.
I didn't notice any of the cruelty of Noah. It's probably because I was too busy watching him try to kill those kids.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So Noah is a descendant of Seth, who's on the side
from
of
the OC.
Yeah, from the OC. Yeah, Seth Cohen.
Yeah. And his dad's
Sandy Cohen.
Yeah, that's right. There we go.
So he's on the side of the Lord, who has abandoned Earth because every other person there is a descendant of Cain, and because Cain's a bad bloke, everybody allegedly everybody 10 generations down can just eat shit and die in a flood. Apparently, yeah. There's a moment where after the flood,
you should do sermons. I think that would do well for you.
I could do it. So the God in this, he's the vengeful God. He's
Old Testament
rude.
God. Book of Enoch God.
Absolutely. So he
doesn't give a stuff.
Oh God, he doesn't give a flip, does he?
No.
So yeah, he wants to kill everybody, but he lets no one know by giving him bad dreams. But he can't figure it out immediately, so he has to walk and see Anthony Hopkins, who's presumably taking a break from filming Transformers: The Last Night. Right. Another biblical epic, Mason.
Oh hell yeah.
Of 2014 or whenever that movie came out.
Optimus Prime gave me this flaming sword.
But yet,
it's only got a couple of goes in it, but boy, when it goes, it's going to go off.
You're going to notice. Then and of course, the story of Noah's Ark, he has to build a boat. And it's also like...
You know what? This episode is one of the few where we actually explain the plot. And it's like, I'm pretty sure everybody knows the plot of this.
Well, I'm building to something else.
Okay, right.
I just think it's insane that...
Are you about to critique the Bible?
Yeah, I am. Because, like, if you're God... And you
first, Bill Hicks over here. bloody, the other guy.
Dennis Leary?
No, the other guy. Can't 7 words you can't say on television.
Oh, George Carlin.
George Carlin, there he is.
Yeah.
There
all right.
He is.
I don't mind.
Okay,
I'm controversial. So it's crazy to go to a guy and be like, listen, I got to kill a lot of people, but I need you to build an enormous boat. You're God. Can't you just be like, fucking heart attack?
Here's a boat.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Or here's a boat, yeah.
Wow, well mine I think was much cooler than yours, actually.
Yeah? Just dropping a boat from the sky.
I mean, he can build it. He's got those nuts that make a forest.
He does.
Does have a nut that'll make a boat.
Yeah. Well, I guess technically he did that. It's just a bit of a roundabout way. I don't know. It just feels like he's fucking with Noah. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, that's what God does.
Just testing and pushing and...
As we've established on our podcast, The Weekly Planet, God is real and he hates us. # The Weekly Planet. I think we made a t-shirt or somebody did.
We probably did or somebody did. And I love that the boat, it's just a brick. Like there's no, you don't add anything to it because it doesn't need to steer. Because where are you going?
Just floating about, aren't you?
Floating about.
Yeah, this is a far cry from that ship they were so wowed by in Master and Commander.
Certainly is, yeah. God.
That was a beautiful ship.
It certainly is, Mason. Yeah, there's a lot of baby stuff going on here. So Anthony Hopkins, he's fixing wombs.
Yep.
So he fixes Emma Watson's womb so there can be other babies. But no, he's not having it, Mason.
Right.
He's furious that he's not going to be the last person alive for some reason, I guess. So
I want to be the one who wins the Post Malone lookalike contest.
He could.
Yeah, I know.
He definitely could. Yeah. I mean, look, I hate to get political, but I think you should kill babies after they're born.
You're saying you should kill babies?
No, you shouldn't kill them.
It sounded...
There was a... No.
It sounded like
there's
you were
no grey area here.
You were trying to please everybody there. You were like, I think people shouldn't kill babies.
You're just confused because I was doing a dab while I said that. A seated dab.
That's so true, actually.
Which means respect, of course, yeah. But just absolute madness. Just... Also, Noah, like, he's not a good guy. And it kind of starts that way where, like, he's this maybe not reluctant, but he is this, he has faith and belief and he feels like things are going to turn out. But there's a moment where it's just, he's like, I'm a tool of God. I'll do literally anything. I do not care. I'll kill all of my family.
And then it's always that, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's the other one, Abraham? He's like, chop that baby in half, you know?
Which way?
That's a great point, actually. Yeah. Diagonally?
Diagonally, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you cut a baby down the middle, it doesn't grow, doesn't fit.
I mean, I think before what you I mean, you got two options. Obviously, you get one person to draw the line and then you cut like the other person because then or you could like gerrymander it a bit. You could be like, I'll take the head and like
the heart, probably.
Yeah, the heart, and then like the legs for running, and you can have the rest, whatever.
The legs for running.
Yes.
If you cut Wolverine directly down the middle, would he die or would he grow into two Wolverines?
He'd die.
What about Deadpool?
It's a great question.
I think you could push Wolverine back together, though.
Oh yeah, no, I'd buy that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Something to think about. Yeah. Anyways, terrific wig work in this.
I agree.
On Rusty Crowe in particular, Jennifer Connelly, she's aging beautifully through this whole ordeal.
Yep.
Rusty Crowe, on the other hand, he's having a hell of a time, Mason.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's got beautiful long ponytail. He's got a shaved head for a businessman, workman attitude.
Right.
He's got crazy guy boat hair.
Uh-huh.
And then he's got a beautiful, longer, but not too long, sweeping grey locks at the end when he figures out that he shouldn't kill any kids.
He wanted to speed run the Ethan Hunt Mission Impossible looks. All of them at once. Tom Cruise thinks he can have all the good hair. Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. At least they finally got to work together in The Mummy.
So true.
God, that's a good movie.
I agree.
He's got that padded butt. Remember that?
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah, you remember. Mr. Hyde. When are we going to look at that one, Mason?
Probably never.
No, that's certainly not true.
All right, well, when this new MonsterVerse, when the new the new Universal Monsters gets to another The Mummy, probably.
Okay, we'll get back to it.
When it's The Mummy, but it's also about motherhood.
Yes.
Let's get Darren Aron on the phone.
Mummyhood. Here's a question for you before we do Novia, which
go
is our trivia section of the show. Do you like this?
No. Didn't think it was very interesting.
Really?
It was like you said, it's just sort of a mishmash of it's like After Earth. It's like, it's
like After Earth.
It's some vague, it's vaguely fantasy-ish.
Yeah.
And sci-fi-ish, but it's not. It's not, It was all right.
It was all right.
I mean, I think there was initial thrill when I'm like, this is going to do crazy Bible stuff, like all the stuff you don't normally see in, in a God movie.
Yeah.
But then that kind of wore off, and it was just like, oh, okay, well, it's mostly going to be the rock guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a bit.
Yeah.
And then they shoot off into space.
Yeah.
It was cool how they did that. Yeah. All right, it is time for Novia. We're back here.
Also, there should have been more weird animals. What happened to the weird animals, by the way?
They
didn't really. Yeah, I guess, but like. Wasn't he supposed to save all the animals?
Okay, we're in Novia now. I'll tell you what's going on.
Okay.
There's no actual animals in this, by the way, like real animals.
Yeah, I
they're
know.
all
I can
CGI,
tell.
but they're all slightly tweaked from real ones. So the idea is that they're animals.
I mean, slightly. One was a fox with scales.
Well, yeah. So some of them Ray Winston ate, I assume.
Okay, right. He ate all the rare eagles and so forth.
Exactly.
Okay.
But Russell Crowe in this, Russell Crowe's Noah. He's a big vegan fella or whatever he is, isn't he? He's not eating animals. He's very woke, and I don't like that for him. What is his personality even? He's all over the shop. Just do what God tells you. Fucking be independent, man. Wow. Have an original thought.
James, I wish you were there in Bible times.
Yeah?
Yeah, you could have been the real wise man.
I would have done a running kick.
On God?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
2 foot.
Oh, that'll get him. I reckon 1 foot wouldn't have budged him from the celestial throne, but 2 feet definitely would knock him on his godly ass. And he'd be like, I deserve that, actually. You finally knocked some sense into me, God.
Absolutely. A kissing scene was shot.
Ooh, a kissing scene?
You saw it with Emma Watson and Douglas Booth. Mm-hmm. Apparently, Darren Aron made them do so many takes that they were both nursing swollen mouths and bleeding lips.
Wow.
That's passion.
That sure is.
And that actually sounds awful.
Yeah.
Where you kiss to the point where you're in incredible pain. I'm not for that.
Wow. Sounds like something God would make you do, though.
It does. Well, in a way, Mason, Darren Aronofsky, with
true.
all his scarves and the bullhorn he yells through.
Yeah, that's right.
Is he not God, in a way?
Yeah.
Controlling his little world?
In a way, I wish you were on set that day. You could have given him the big double flying kick. And his scarves would have flung off him and he would have been knocked out of his throne.
He would have said, ooh!
Yeah, his little folding chair that says director on it. He would have gone, like you said. And he would have been like, I deserve that, actually. You know.
Liam Neeson, Liev Schreiber, and Val Kilmer were considered for the role of Tubal Cain, but Darren Aronofsky wanted an actor with grit and size, and someone who would be convincing as they go head to head against Rusty Crowe. A big Ray Winston fella makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could probably get all three of those guys and like put him in a big robe.
Yeah, sure.
And make him, one big guy.
I mean, Liam's tall.
He is tall.
But is he broad?
He's pretty broad.
He's pretty broad.
Yeah.
And he can climb a fence. We certainly know that.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. And the last bit is, Darren Aronofsky stated that he really wanted to kill off Noah at the end because he often intends for his protagonists to die. He loves that. But he couldn't.
Because all the Noah stands out there.
Yeah.
All the,
It's not what happened.
All those Bible thumpers would be like, no, what happened to Noah is he probably lived another 400 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably
killed a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
Probably built a second boat and God was like, it's done, man. You're trying to recapture the magic and the spirit of that thing you once did.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then God gives him the big double foot kick.
Yeah!
Which he learned from me.
Wow.
Anyways, you're not going to believe this. In terms of box office, on a budget of between 125 to 160 million.
Okay, sure.
Which is too much. But I guess they did go to the Prometheus planet.
Yeah. And they did, get God on set for a few days.
That is true.
That's not cheap.
Yeah. It made 359.2. So, it did okay. I don't know if this would do as well now. I feel like it would sink like a stone. Like a rock lord.
Yeah,
in a flood.
I think you're absolutely right.
I don't know that for a fact, of course.
Yeah.
What I find really interesting about a lot of biblical stories, the Bible is a historical document. What you believe within it to be true is interesting in itself. But the idea is that it is a text written over, many thousands of years.
And you're saying all of it's literally true.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm also saying is it is a reflection of the time.
That's so true.
And previous thinking. So it got me thinking, is this boat real? Did this happen?
Oh, I see.
So I did some research, Mason.
Okay.
Basically, my question...
Biblical scholars and historians and all you types, listen up. Because we're going to get real here.
Get your stupid fucking fancy fountain pen ready, all right?
That's exactly right.
Take notes.
Yeah, take notes, Indiana Jones.
So this section's called, Was There Really a Big Boat and God Made a Big Flood and Everyone Died but all the animals were safe in the boat? Here we go.
We can do this every week. With your ongoing research.
So the current school of thought, it's quite interesting because, obviously over the years, there are many scholars who have there's been different scholars who have differing opinions. It's been a hotly debated topic for centuries, right?
Indiana Jones.
Yep.
That guy in The Librarians.
Yes, that's right.
Lara Croft.
These are all true, yeah. Yeah.
Modern, less sexy Lara Croft probably has an opinion also.
Romancing the Stone.
Yep. John Stone from Romancing the Stone.
These are all true. Yeah. So
Deborah Romance from Romancing the Stone. They had the
romance.
Yeah.
Over the stone, yeah.
Yeah.
So this story, it's existed across multiple religions for thousands of years. It's referenced in different religious writings from Christianity to Islam, among others, indicating that, there are probably elements of truth to this story, right? Like, why is this being retold again and again? Why are there different perspectives and stories relating to this? But, Mason, there's no scientific evidence that this ark ever existed, nor has there been any evidence of a global flood ever.
Wow.
So it's not a true story. But that being said, do your own research. I suggest you get out there and you see if you can find a big boat.
Oh, yeah,
It's probably around.
It's probably just around the corner.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's probably a vape shop now. A floating vape shop to get around all those vape bans around the world now. You know, to the 3 mile limit.
Yeah.
You can buy all the vapes you want out of the 3 mile limit.
Also, like, unless God has evolved as a being, as an entity, I feel like this can't be real because if, you know, let's call him he. But who's to say? You know, what is God's pronouns? Okay. Let's get mad about it in the comments.
Let's do it, yep.
But I think he wouldn't be happy with the result of this. And if this really happened, he would have just kept doing it.
Yeah.
Till it, like, worked out. Because it's not, obviously. Yeah. Like, something is awry here.
Yeah.
Something is wrong. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I reckon maybe if I were God.
Sure.
You know, and Noah had defied my wishes to, you know, to flood the entire world and destroy all the wicked, and he'd, you know, gone out his own and done that. Probably what I would do is, like, teleport like a B-2 stealth bomber from the future into ancient times and just flatten that boat, you know what I mean? He had a surface missile, blammo.
You've taken this from Dial of Destiny, Mason. That's what you've done here.
Oh, no! It's just a good idea, all right?
Hey, a good idea is always a good idea, all right? God damn. Anyways, this has been the Rusty Crowe His-Trilogy.
That's right, for now.
Oh my God, an incredible look into an incredible filmography of the greatest actor in the world. We respect you, Russell Crowe, and we salute you. And you are Australian. For now, absolutely. Yeah. Now, of course, if you do want to see these videos early, you can actually head over to bigsandwich.co, where not only are there early Caravan of Garbages, there's also video game Let's Plays. There's bonus podcasts. We do movie commentaries. We have a podcast called The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. Of course, we're going to be talking Gladiator 2. That's on its own YouTube channel. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple. But I'm sure people are dying to know, what's the hint for next week? And by hint, I mean like a very obvious kind of...
Maybe the most memorable part of that movie. Just the
Yeah, just that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh. What's the most memorable part? Probably, you know, that Hobbit, and he's like, something 11s or whatever, you know?
Something 11s.
You know, be him.
The bit where he kicks the helmet or whatever, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is all good stuff, Mason.
It's all good stuff.
I can't wait. I've been holding off watching those movies.
What about second 11s? What do you know?
What about Second Breakfast? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know the thing.
I've been holding off watching these movies for years because I've been...
Afraid,
and I've been wanting to do it for this show. So I'm so excited to come back to that and talk about that next week.
Nice.
Anyways, wanted to say...
The regular editions.
Oh, yeah, we're doing regular editions. We'll explain why next week.
Because the other ones are longer.
Well, yes, but other reasons we'll get into.
Other reasons?
Anyways, thank you so much to Ben for the edit.
Thank you, Ben.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Grab that jammy, guys. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
What about second video?
There's other videos. There's second videos.
That's what
on
I mean.
This
They're
channel.
probably linked.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. There they are. There's some of them.
Video?
Yeah, they're all there.
You shall not pass unless you look at another video. You know?
That Ian McCallum cameo was worth it, wasn't it?
Right?